We have a very small group today, which is fine. And this might end a little bit sooner. And afterwards, Lynn will post this on the Facebook page of Spiritual Healing with Mark Earlix page. And other than that, any questions I can try to answer before we start here? Anything, please. We got plenty of time. There's only 6 of us. Please, anything. Patty, any questions about anything?
You actually, Mark, I do. I'm not sure it's about spirituality, but when we die and, you know, we're in spirit form, I think you mentioned that on the other side, we're all younger and we'll meet our family members. What about our other lifetimes? Do we see the people we lived with other lifetimes?
You know, as soon as we pass, it's our soul that gets separate from us, in my perspective of what my experience is, what I've seen, what I've been taught, what I whatever. And so it's the soul that gets separate, and it's on its path for evolution. So it incorporates into the, I'll just make this really short in terms, but it incorporates into that soul group, the mind, that's beyond this one, in some sense. It's more evolved, and it goes back into that. And the soul lingers above the body for about 3 days. And in the Jewish faith, they knew this hundreds of centuries ago. And so they won't bury someone until for the 3 days, so that a soul can collect its experience. Then it goes into the mind. Then what happens is, sure, we'll meet others on the other side, not only of the immediate family that might have passed, or immediate friends or whatever. It might have been from who knows when that we've been a part of, and they've been a part of us to varying degrees. There's also, you know, the angelics, and there's the hosts, and there's other beings as well, spirits of various forms. But the spirits are not evolved. They're a different group completely than the angelics by any means. But all these take us through, and we also get a so-called re-education as far as, okay, this is what we're going to be working with in this next time. We've been here hundreds of thousands of times, and we're going to be here hundreds of thousands of times more, as I've always said. This is, you know, my perspective of things in a very Gnostic viewpoint. So that's basically, you know, my answer. And we do go on. There's really no separation between this side and this side. It's just, you know, letting go of the tangibility of it all, letting go of the concepts and percepts and recepts and everything else. And we do, even on this side, in our physical, what we call physical bodies, we do get to experience the other side if we're open to that, even while we're still alive, so to varying degrees. It depends upon our clarity and, you know, our purity within and stuff. Not saying that I'm totally pure. We don't want to go there. You know, I'll get stricken down or something, you know, at some point. All right. So
well, you're just talking about the Earth.
Well,
and the thing is that we're such a little speck in the whole.
Yeah.
Who knows? You know, so who knows what's
it's unfathomable,
right?
How much there really is.
Right.
There's no comprehension of it.
Right.
And there can't be.
No.
It just goes, it's just like one time I wanted to know about Raphael. I said, teach me about you. And there was a time that when I first had the experience of working with healing, it was about 47 years ago. And before I even knew what healing was, then I questioned this consciousness that was there, and it told me it was Raphael, something I can relate to. And so I said, okay, tell me about you. Where are you? What are you? And I never told anyone about this part of the story. And so I saw that it was a consciousness that went on forever. It was just a realm.
Right.
And it just went on forever. And so all consciousnesses do, but it's all within a consciousness, in what I refer to as the mind of the divinity, the godliness.
Mhm.
That's my perspective of things in my experiences. All right. Cool. Any questions about that before we go on here? A couple announcements I want to make. I got my list here. There's Tabitha, and and we every week we have the healing circle, except we won't be having it when I'm in California that one week, and I'll explain that in a minute. We have once a month the gathering. When's the next one, Lynn? Do you know of the gathering?
Yes,
When is it? Can you share it with me?
October 13th.
October, are you sure?
As long as it's a Wednesday, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
checking.
And
I'm pretty
today's
sure it's the 13th. Yep.
okay, so
October 13th.
next week. Cool. All right, so next week is the gathering. That's when we ask questions, and hopefully the whole time, the hour, will be filled with questions, and I'll try to answer them the best that I can from my experience in my teachings, etc.
And that will
And
be streamed through Facebook.
I'm sorry.
That will be streamed through Facebook.
Okay. Oh, good, good, good. And then if there's time, we'll do some healings as well. And there is on the website, markearlix.com. If you go there, you'll see a little thing that says donate from your heart or gifting or whatever it says. And then on October 4th through 7th, that's a Monday, Tuesday. No, when is it?
18th to the 21st.
But it's right. The 18th through the 21st is the Living with Angels workshop. Is that the correct title?
Close enough. Living with Angelics.
Okay, Living with the Angelics. That's going to be awesome. A couple people have already signed up, so that's awesome. And it's going to be a dynamic workshop. There'll be exercises, and it'll be for an hour and a half a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, from 12 until 1:30. And it'll be wonderful. And most people tell me that every workshop is just fantastic. Even if I've given it before, they're always different. This one is fairly new. I haven't given this one in about 20 years, and it'll be expanded upon and expounded on or whatever. And let's see, October 23rd through the 27th, I'll be doing appointments in California. And the 24th is a circle there if anyone wants to go to California. And on the 25th through the 27th, I'll have an apprentice training there. It'll be in the San Francisco area, right outside in Marin County. And let's see, we got Paul here. Yay. Thanks for being here, Paul. And let's see, this October the 29th, we have a healing circle online with Unity Church. Anyone is welcome to it. And then October 30th, here in Denver as well, there'll be a 4-hour Unity workshop. If anyone wants to participate in that, it'll be on spiritual healing. And so please do feel free. Other than that, the appointments are either at my office here in the Boulder area, outside of Boulder, and or Zoom or FaceTime or telephone, if anyone's interested in an appointment. A couple things I wanted to mention. When I work with people here, please keep in mind that these are what I call quickie healings. So they may last for 5 minutes, or they may last for the rest of your life. I don't know. And I will focus as much as I can on your situation, and I'll do everything I can in the whole world within me to help you to feel better. And that's my objective. That's my goal. And that's what, I strive for in every way. And hey, Marie Fowler, how you doing? Good to see you. And Paul, yay. Thanks for being here, Paul.
Mark, good to see you.
You too. You too. All right. So any other questions we can start? There's so few of us. Please, Lynn.
You mentioned there will be a Tuesday that the circle will not be.
I'm sorry.
Which Tuesday was it that the circle won't be happening? Is it
That's
the-
when I'm in California.
Okay, so the 26th?
October. Here it is. It'll be October 26th.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm that. Thanks.
Sure. I'm going to write that in my book too.
So no circle that night.
Correct. But there'll be one every week before that and after that, supposedly, unless something's announced. Thanks. All right, good. Please, that was a good question, Patty. Any other questions that you might have?
No, and thanks for the explanation. That was very good, Mark. Thanks a lot.
Okay, all righty. Louis or Marie or Paul, any questions whatsoever? Or anyone, please, I can try to answer here. If you can try to stump me, I would love that. Louis, anything?
Well, you answered my questions. I had a lot of questions the last couple of prayer circles, so you did a good job of answering.
Thanks. Yeah. All right, good. I hope it settled any kind of information or turmoil or whatever. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, good. Excellent. Well, if there's nothing else, I'll say my adieus. Goodbye. Did I ever I met something one time, and it was when I was really innocent in life. And so as I met it, I was actually in this big puddle that went on to a larger puddle that went into it like a stream. And I was splashing around with my feet and stuff. And there was this thing in the water. I started talking to it, and it told me its name. And then it started moving and going from stream to stream, and or excuse me, puddle to puddle into the bigger stream. And so as I was talking to it, it wasn't experienced in the world, and it looked up and it saw me, and it told me its name and everything. And then it was the oddest thing that I realized that it was new. And so we started talking, becoming friends, and I learned it told me it was swimming. So it started swimming. And then I was following it as it did, and it kept telling me more. And I said, look up, and it did. And it saw all this foliage, and it was learning all these new things. I was telling it about, that's a tree, and that's a bush on the sides, and that's the sky up there. And so here it is, just going along, and he's telling me, hey, look, that's seaweed down there. And so, here I am, picking a piece of the seaweed and then swimming along. And then I said, keep on swimming, run, Paul, run. And it kept running in the water though. And so it finally hit this big wall and it
Oh,
went,
God.
damn, get it? Damn, a wall. So, all right, yeah.
Patty told me that was coming.
Oh boy, life. So, you get it, Marie? All right. Good. It was new in this world. And it didn't have feet. So, all right. All right. Well, moving right along here. Yeah. All right. In any case, is there Marie, anything you'd like to say or have me work with or anything, please?
Thank you. Two updates.
Oh, please.
I think I told you I thought I had this umbilical hernia, and it might still be, but I went for just a physical, and it was a new doctor, and she said, I don't know if that's what it is. Let's get you an ultrasound. So I have one that's scheduled.
Good.
But last night I had all of this abdominal pain, like it lasted for 3 hours, and I was in a sweat. And so just any help or support for that
Gladly.
would be appreciated.
Yes. And let me work with you with that, okay, hon? And some people, and not to talk anyone into anything, I'm pretty objective and observant versus, emotionally reactive when I do this. And so I'm going within myself. And so what happens is some people may experience sensation and either heat or cold, or electricity or air going through them or movement inside of them. And I never know. And I pretty much leave it to the old man or woman upstairs. I said, okay, boss, take over. You're bigger than me. And it does in its way. And so what happens is the ones that do need to experience something, the ones that don't need to, but it doesn't mean that nothing is happening. And these are quick healings, as I mentioned. I like to work with people in appointments where not only the physiological is worked with, but it might bring up the emotional as well of what might have caused it, if it was an emotional dilemma or drama or trauma that did cause it. So, and I never know. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just physiological. So, or from an accident or whatever. So, all right, I'm going to work with you here, Marie. And you may sense things happening, in other words. How is that, Marie?
I just felt like all this space opening up, like it was just all, there's a lot of tightness and tension there, and I just feel all of this space and lightness.
It's almost to me, what I perceive in my own perception is that there was it was like a big muscle, maybe about that big, and it was pulled. I don't know if it was pulled to protect or pulled to because of strain. And so what I did is I went in there and hopefully it relaxed and changed for you.
Thank you so much. And then do I call Sue for when the next time you're back in the valley, or do I schedule with you?
Now, yeah, call Sue if you want
Okay.
an appointment.
Okay,
And her number's it's also on the internet,
okay,
on the webpage.
thank you. Can I give a quick update on my mom and just ask for continued blessings? for
I would
her?
love to hear.
Okay, so her primary physician of 15 years told us she had, lung cancer from the CT scan, and it looked like it had spread. And then Monday morning we went to the oncologist. I don't know if this is just a legality thing or a technical thing, because she still has to get it biopsied and they'll do a PET scan. But after that meeting, he said, well, we don't know if it's cancer. It could be something else. So I don't know, anyway, that gives us some hope. I don't know, again, if that's just a technicality that they have to wait until it's officially biopsied, but
Yeah.
anyway, gave us a little bit of a breather and a little bit more feeling of hope. But
Good.
any continued just blessings for her, that whatever it is that they
Sure.
find it and treat it rapidly, whatever it is.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I would be more than happy to. Your mom seems really simple and clear in life. Let's see if this doesn't help her in that respect to keep it simple and clean and clear. And so, as far as relief of everything,
Thank you so much.
my pleasure, my honor. All righty. Wendy, my dear, talk to me.
Okay. Well, one good thing yesterday. I mean, I had breast cancer, and I had to have yesterday, I guess I went for an ultrasound and a mammogram.
Okay.
And the doctor thinks everything looks fine, but I still have to go for an MRI because they saw something, but it's probably nothing. So that was good news.
Very good.
I went to the, I started seeing a naturopath, and actually today went to Integrative Medicine Center in Stafford and talked to the doctor there, who's a real doctor, so insurance is covered. But he told me that he was no longer going to be doing that anymore. He's more involved in media. So he's shifting me over to this place in Rye, New York, the Blum Center. And I worked with this Dr. Blum once and thought she was kind of, I don't know, I didn't like her, but he says, no, he wants me to see this other doctor who's there, and he's worked with her because of this. He thinks it may be the gut, a leaky gut, but he's not
Okay.
sure.
All right.
so we'll see what happens. I don't know. I mean, I'm still, I feel like I did, and we won't talk about emotions, but a lot of the stress probably it tends to go into the body and bring this stuff on. So right now I have to deal with the physical things that are going on in me. And so I agreed to see her, and I'm waiting for an appointment. And then when I went online to look, because these guys don't, they're not MDs, and her her initial appointment is $1,275, and it's not covered by insurance. But I'm willing to take that risk if I think she can help me, because the normal
Okay.
medical doctors don't get it. They
All
really
right.
don't get it.
All right.
So that's where I am right now.
Okay. So what would you like me to work with, hon?
I guess just a general healing, to hope that, whatever this is, because you start fearing
is
like
it-
cancer, you don't,
All
know
right.
what I'm saying. So,
I understand.
yeah.
And is it in the gut?
We don't know yet. I mean, he says that she needs to really do the right kind of testing
Okay.
to see if it is in my gut,
Okay.
So that's, yeah,
All right. So let me work here.
okay.
Okay. When I did work with you, I also saw a relief in there, but what's really important is to get out or recognize that there's panic and fear.
Oh, yeah.
And that is so destructive in itself, which propagates, which perpetuates disease.
The naturopath I've been working with, actually, we're starting to
Not
do
too
heart
much,
math.
not too much of a story, because I
No,
want to get done.
are you familiar with heart math?
No.
Okay, because it's heart centered, where you
Okay.
you want to stay positive and think positive, and
Okay.
that whole thing. So that's what I try and do when I get like that.
Good. And recognize what you do, just really simply, in my perspective. You may want to try this or may not. It's up to you. Is to recognize when you are in that internal panic mode and stop yourself and separate yourself as if you stepped out of your body and watch you in that,
Right.
if that makes sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so while you're doing that, as you're observing that panic mode, just, recognize it's outside of you and then observe it. Just watch it play itself out. Then come back into you, and it's going to take practice stepping out of you and watching. But once you get good at that, after the first try or 500 tries later, you'll see that you can actually do it. And it'll become more objectively observant, and you're not participating in that where it's going to destroy you. Not only in panic and fear, but internally it'll perpetuate and propagate the disease. And this
Yes.
way, if you do that, it has a potential of eliminating that disease.
Okay. I like that. Sounds good. It is just very frustrating, after going through this.
I'm
So,
sure.
but
I'm sure. But it's like running around with your head cut off like a chicken,
right,
you know? And
Yes.
what good has it done?
right.
All the frustration.
And I told the doctor that today. I said, I'm so tired
Good.
of all you guys. This is bull.
Okay.
Figure it
All
out.
right. All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I have one question for you.
Please.
Are you
Okay.
ever are you ever coming to the East Coast, or are you?
Where
I don't know
about?
why you would, but
Where about, Wendy?
huh?
Where in the?
Coast. Oh, well, I'm in Connecticut, so I mean, and the
You know,
problem
I'll
is
tell
they
you,
just don't get it.
Okay, if
Okay.
I ever have invitation to come out there
hmm
through Unity churches or other groups or a bunch of people getting together, I'll gladly do that.
Okay. Thank you.
And I'll do a workshop and a healing circle for
Okay.
healing circle, etc.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right,
It helps. It really does.
good, good. Keep me updated, everyone. Please keep me updated how you're doing. Paul, my friend, talk to me. Hey, Michelle. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for
Hey,
being
good.
here. Excellent. Paul, any
Yeah.
one thing in particular that I can work with?
Yeah, the last couple weeks have just been really overwhelming with work, and I'm still working remotely, and blessed my company's still busy and doing well, but it's just like, it's constant phone, email, Zoom, just all day long. And
Okay.
I mean, I've worked with you going back 10 years. 10 years ago, I went from this calm person to figured out my nervous system just went out of whack, and regular doctors said, "Oh, you have anxiety. Here, take this medication," and that led me down a really terrible road, and got off that. And then with some caring alternative people like yourself and doctors, I just with supplementation, changing diet over a
Okay.
period of years, everything's gotten better. But
Good.
just lately, a lot of things have been going on, and every time it's usually just mostly work stress. But
Okay.
I just my nervous system gets a little bit
Out
out
of
of
whack.
whack, and just I can feel the anxiety
Yes.
building, and it's usually from that. The weekends I'm usually fairly well,
Okay.
but work, it's been very busy.
All right. I'll tell you what. Can you remember one thing that's super stressing to you? Can you pinpoint one thing?
Um, well, a couple weeks ago we had just a lot of
Real briefly.
just events. We did some outdoor things just for our customers, and it was
Okay.
like up till midnight, and like for 3 nights in a row. And so
Okay.
it was
And
exhausting. It was exhausting. And
okay,
that
I'll
kinda,
tell you what. Let me talk. All right. Now, what I want you to do is close your eyes and keep them closed. Now, I want you to focus on that exhaustion. Focus on it. And when you can actually perceive and remember that exhaustion, nod your head. The actual exhaustion and the effects. Okay. Keep them closed or else this won't work. Now, what I want you to do is to imagine, to image in action, not pretend, not fantasy, to actually imagine if you weren't exhausted after that event. Tell me in one word, only one, how does it feel not to be exhausted?
great.
And how does great feel? One word.
Full of energy or energy.
Good. All right. Now, imagine being totally exhausted. How does that feel?
Drained.
And how does it feel to be not exhausted?
Calm.
Good. And now, how does it feel to be exhausted? Can you remember it?
Just a little tired.
Good. Good. Open up your eyes. Next time something of that nature happens, I'd be most curious as to, how you feel and all. How do you feel in your body now?
More relaxed.
Good. It's a form of clarity. It takes you out of the dilemma, drama, and trauma of it all. Good. Excellent.
So you're saying practice that, like if I'm in that moment, think the one extreme and the other?
You won't have to do anything.
No? Okay.
Nothing. See what changes the next time you're in a strenuous situation.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Lewis, my friend, talk to me.
Okay, well, my latest ailment is 2 months ago, I had a tumor removed from inside my bladder. And the doctor said that he's confident that he got the tumor out and any cancer that was inside the bladder.
Okay.
But the thing is, there's two types of bladder cancer. One is the slow growing type, and one is the fast growing type. Mine
Yeah.
is the fast growing type. So they recommend a procedure over a 12-week period where every week they would have to insert tuberculosis virus into my bladder, okay, to kill any cancer that's there. Okay, now it's a very painful procedure. So what I would like is if you could do a healing to make sure if there is any cancer left that it's healed and dissolved or whatever.
All
and
right.
To put my bladder in kind of like a protective state so it doesn't reoccur.
Okay. I would enjoy doing that and working with you on that. I just got the strangest, I've never heard of this in my life. I got the strangest suggestion to tell you. And you know what, ever when you were younger, chew on a piece of grass?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the taste of that, the freshness of it, the chlorophyll from it, everything, the color of it and everything?
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Imagine in your bladder area, that color, that taste, the color and the taste, and the freshness.
So you want me to chew on some grass
No,
to get the
no,
memory
you're
back?
not a cow. But,
No, I don't mean eat it. I mean just to get
Yeah.
the sensation of the taste.
well, just whatever it takes to remember, find one piece of grass and remember that, the freshness of it
Okay.
and the life of it. And constantly, you don't need more grass. Don't keep a bunch of grass in the house because of this. But just, that was a good one, Patty, wasn't it? But, just have that in your mind, the freshness and the color of it. And in your bladder area, remember that as often as you might.
Okay.
It might last for seconds, but do it often. Capiche?
Yeah, I think so. So imagine the taste and that taste is inside the bladder.
Yeah, just imagine it. It's almost like putting a taste in somewhere inside of your body.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And remember the color of it and the taste of it.
Okay.
Good. Excellent.
All right, great. Well, thank you. I'll try that. See what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. And I asked a prayer for you as well.
Okay, thank you. Now, of course, something like this, it's hard to determine, what's happening unless, months or years down the line, it comes back. So
I wouldn't be
just not-
concerned about that.
I just want to go on faith that, it's going to.
Then if you are going on faith, don't imagine what it's going to be like in months and years. Capiche?
Yeah, thank you.
Otherwise, that's going to be your prayer. And it'll get answered. Good.
If I can add something, my oldest brother, Tom, 71, a year ago, he found the same thing, had the tumor. He went through that exact same treatment and he's doing well. So as a word of
Thank you.
encouragement,
Thank you. Good.
he's been cancer-free last
Good.
check.
Excellent.
He did the 12 treatments after that, or just the one surgery?
Yes. Yeah, did the treatments after that where they put that into your bladder, that
Yes.
Yep. And it seemed to do the trick. So
There you go. There you go. Use that taste. Imagine that taste in your bladder area and imagine the color. Okay? And do not be afraid, or else that's going to be your prayer.
I work on that. I meditate on that.
Good. Good. And now it's a greater faith that comes in and trust.
Mhm.
And it's just like Paul said, the outcome is great. Just know
Okay.
that, and this is the process of that happening. Good. Excellent. Patty, your sister, hey, let me, please. Go ahead. Who's going to be first?
I'll go first. She's the oldest, she can
I'm
go
the
first. Mark, I just wanted to say last week's lower back healing was amazing. I had 2 very busy, hardworking days and there was no back pain when I came home. Thank you,
Yay.
thank you. It was awesome.
Awesome.
Today, Mark, I'd like some help with my daughter, Trisha. She's been having some migraines and she experienced some vertigo. That's a new symptom. She's been doing a lot of traveling for work. So the migraine and the vertigo kind of derailed her for a day or so. So I'd like a prayer for her, please.
Sure. More than happy to. This is for Trisha?
Trisha, correct.
I also, I saw like steam coming out of her head. That was the visual that I got. So let's see if this doesn't help her. But um, do you know, are you always conversing with her?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And did she recently just have like an emotional breakdown?
I'm sure with her job, yes. Yes.
Okay.
It's been challenging for her.
Yeah. And that emotional breakdown is like a release though for her. So that's good. That's
Right.
good. It's nothing that she's going to
Understand.
have to hold on to. All right. All right, good. All
Thank
right.
you.
My honor. What about you, Patty? Anything?
If you could just, my neck has been a little strained today. I'd appreciate that.
Sure. All right, Patty.
Thank you. Very powerful today. Thanks.
I didn't mean to choke you.
No, it was a lot of movement. It was a release. Thank you so much, Mark.
All right, sister.
Joyce.
Joy.
Hi, Mark. I'm requesting a blessing from my husband, Mitch, who is looking to retire from the police department after 22 years, and that he finds the perfect job in the private sector sooner rather than later.
You got it. Has he been finding relief from a lot of the pressures that he was afraid of?
I don't know. He's extremely stressed, and I'm worried health-wise for him.
Okay. He's going to make really big decisions very shortly. And that's good. And that'll bring him relief in life after the fact.
Yes. Yes. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Keep me updated, please.
I sure will.
All right. What about you?
How about some lower back into the sciatica? That's been a big problem all summer long. And my ass is kind of fat too, so.
maybe even a real gentle exercise system or routine that might help the musculature in there. And this has nothing to do with the pressures of life or anything like that. It has nothing to do with your body. But you'll also, within the next 2 weeks, with these decisions, you're also going to have big changes in your life, but there'll be gentle changes. It'll all be good.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, I've been doing this all my life. These are the patterns that I have. Now that this situation, I have to adapt to other patterns. And because the situation's changed to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be asking yourself, well, what do I do now? It'll be like confusion for you. So
Thanks, Mark.
my pleasure. My pleasure. You sound just like Patty when you said thanks, Mark, just like that.
It's because we're sisters.
Chicago talk, I guess.
Probably.
All right. All right, Michelle, hi. Are you there, Michelle? Anything in particular you'd like me to work with? Or Tabitha or Michelle or Lynn?
Yeah,
Yeah, hi.
I'm here.
All right.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I've kind of been kind of depressed and dealing with some stuff. So I don't know what you want to do.
All right. Tell you what. Have I ever worked with you before, Michelle?
Yes.
When was that?
I was in Nashville. I think I went to one of your healing circles, and I also paid you because you were working at I don't know. I came with my daughter a couple times.
In Nashville?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was about 20 years ago.
No, it wasn't.
Close. No, wasn't it? It was about 15, 16 years ago.
I don't remember.
All right.
What do you think?
All right, I'll tell you what. What I want you to do, and I generally don't work with emotional stuff, dynamics that happen with us, except for Paul today, and I'll work with you today. It's usually on the healing circles is physiological, but I'll gladly work with you right now.
Okay.
What I'd like you to do is to close your eyes just for a moment. I'm going to put one hand on top of your head. I want you to put your right hand on your heart.
Okay.
Can you imagine, perceive any sensations?
Yeah.
What does
I
that feel like?
feel it's like the sky when I saw that cloud that one day. But I don't know what it means.
Help me to understand what you just meant.
Like I was outside one day and I saw a cloud of like a extraterrestrial,
Okay.
like the face of him, and he I can't remember if he curled up this one side of his mouth at me or I think that's what he did.
Close your eyes.
Okay. I get scared a lot because I have a lot of like a lot of like weird stuff happen.
Okay, keep your eyes closed. And imagine my hand on top of your hand that's over the heart.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you think about anything else, then you're not imagining what we're doing.
No, I feel light and like
Good.
happy.
All right. Keep that image. Hold it. And every time it goes away, put your hand back on your heart and imagine my other hand on top of your head.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yeah. I feel like you're on my left hand though. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter which hand. Okay, because I feel
Don't try to figure anything out, hon. Just
I'm not.
experience it.
I'm just like speaking out loud.
Okay, good. Good. And there you go. What was that like?
That was like Jello.
Good. Every time, catch yourself in that state.
Oh.
Every time, catch yourself in that state, and then imagine, which means to image in action. It's not pretend, it's not fantasy, it's imagination. To image in action. That one hand is on your heart, and
Okay.
imagine it. And the other hand is on the top of your head. And my hands are on top of your hands.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And close your eyes again
Okay.
and imagine that. What's that like?
It's like white chocolate.
I like that. What do they call that again? The white chocolate? I forgot. There's a name for it.
Is there
Yep.
mousse? I don't know.
No, something else. Divinity or something like that.
Divinity.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Love that stuff. All right.
Well, it's not like clouds, white chocolate cloud, yeah.
Yeah. And as you do picture that, imagine that with the clouds moving and everything, it's not static, it's not frozen, and it's alive. And
Right.
and imagine
Okay.
a ray of sunshine coming through, a little ray, just a little one at different times, coming different places.
All
Capi?
right.
Good.
Thank you.
My honor, my pleasure.
Mhm.
Lynn, anything in particular?
Hi. Excuse me. Tabitha had to go. She had to put the kids to bed, but if you could do a blessing for her and the kids,
Sure. More than happy.
thank you.
There's two?
3.
Where's the third one? Are
2
they
girls
on
and a boy.
that one that I didn't see? Totally independent, whoever that is. I mean, separate from the other two. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah,
And
might be the middle child.
that's good though, is individualistic.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's going to be just so fine.
That's really good to hear because they're going
They
through a
will.
lot right now.
Everyone's going to be so fine. Whatever the
Thank you.
situation is, doesn't matter. It's going to be developing into fine.
That works for us. Thank you.
All right. What about you, Lynn? Anything in particular? Ooh, gotta go.
Blessing is good too.
I'm sorry.
Hang on a sec. There we go. Blessing would be good too.
Sure.
Thank you.
Whatever your situation is, you'll see that it's easier than you thought it was going to be.
That's pretty awesome to hear. We're kind of leaving it. We're kind of trying to go with the flow.
You're trying to what, hon?
Go with the flow.
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot easier as you observe it. You'll see that. But it's going to take time to adapt whatever that situation is, and everything's perfect. Everything's perfect. It's going to be very congenial with everyone and everything. So, okay,
Thank you.
cool.
Thank you so much.
Cool. All right. Well, I want to say my adieus now. And thank you so much for being here next week. Looking forward to seeing you. And also on next week is on Wednesday. On Tuesday is the Healing Circle. On Wednesday is the Gathering. If you have any questions that I can try to answer with spiritual orientation or whatever, or anything about that, please, find questions and try to stump me. And if there's time, we'll do a couple healings. And thank you so much for being here, everyone. And please don't forget to go to the webpage, do the donation if it's within your heart, and also look up the events. Hey, Lynn, did you put on all the events yet?
Just about.
Good. And whatever's not on there, Lynn will get. And
Yes, I'll make sure that it gets updated within the next couple of days. And you will receive a replay for this as well.
Oh, good, 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 good. Thank you so much, everyone. Blessings.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks, Mark.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Paul. Bye, Lewis.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, ladies.
Bye-bye. Thank you.